Hi guys and gals, and welcome back to another No game video. Today's video is dedicated to Spender's Guide in SINoALICE. Yes, the holy grail of whaling. Just kidding. Anyways, let's jump right into it and go into Royal User Service specifically. This is the best thing that you can buy if you get this. You're not free to play. I don't care what you say. You spent money on the game, okay? Now, the reason why you buy this mainly is because you get skip tickets, you get purification tickets, and most importantly, you get purification every 4 hours. That's a huge deal. Purification is pretty much the gateway drug to getting the most amount of count rank EXP. And count rank EXP matters in the sense that you get more, sub slots, you get more, cost into your grid. So right now I have like 331 costs available to me, and I have 15 sub slots available onto my grid. That is a huge deal. It can make a very, very big difference in the long run, because technically each sub slot, like for example, if I put like this staff here, if I had a duplicate staff, it would be 290 stats, which is essentially like a max limit break or adding an Arcana onto it. And then you get an extra slot on your sub nightmare slot. And depending on how it is, it's like 50 stats or 100 stats or 200 stats, what have you, depending on like how leveled the nightmare is, right? So this one gives me like 290 stats. So that is why Royal User Service is so important, is because you need account rank levels in order to progress even farther into game, in order to have sub slots, in order to equip certain gear with higher cost, because higher cost is coming in the future. Let's jump into the Dolphin route. The Dolphin route is essentially, you go into menu, you go into shop, and then you go into purchase Twilight Crystals. It's not available right now, but let's talk about paid nightmares. Essentially, paid nightmares are the creme de la creme. They are pretty much the things that you need to buy, the things that you need to get. The only other thing that you should get. And the reason why is because paid nightmares have the highest stats in the game. It doesn't really matter what ability they have. They have longevity in the sense of they will forever be on your subgrid because they have insane stats, right? It doesn't really matter. Like, there's like at least 20 of them, right? There's at least 20 of them, and look at library, still towering above other, paid nightmares, right? And there's other like nightmares, but for the most part, there's not a single paid tag on the rest of these nightmares. We jump all the way back up, boop, we got the green stuff. There's the paid, cha-ching, right? And essentially, that leads you to the fact that if you're going to spend anything in this game, you want longevity with your buck, paid nightmare is the way to go. So that is the cutoff, right? Guppies, you spend Royal User Service. Dolphins, you go Royal User Service plus paid nightmare, because this is essentially like 40 to 60 bucks a month, depending on how you calculate it and depending on what currency that you have. This is the cutoff. Anything farther than this point, if you pay for essentially more than $40-$60 a month, because it's like one like high-end AAA budget video game, you are now categorized in my book as a killer whale / big dolphin. You know what I mean? Alright, bigger dolphin, killer whale, jump into menu, within menu, go into shop, and let's talk about the Royal User Service. The goal here is to get 7 Royal User Service medal, and the reason why you want to get those is pretty much because they have the highest stats in the entire game. But next thing we gotta cover is if you go into menu, you go into shop, let's talk about all the different purchases that you can get. So we've talked about the paid monthly. Let's talk about the paid weapons that occur once a month as well. Max limit breaking weapons is a huge deal in the difference between a 140 and a 150, right? Because if you max limit break a weapon, like for example the Artisan's Fail, it jumps from 5,171 total stats to 6,651. But the biggest thing to know is it goes from 2,000 attack to 2,644. And the reason why that's possible is because as a spender, you know what I mean? This is more achievable than trying to max limit break a weapon on a banner. Because on a banner, whether it's step up or not, you have to deal with RNG. And when you can MLB a weapon that's not, when it's technically guaranteed, it speaks volumes. It's a huge difference, right? It's a huge difference. And if you're going to spend, like money into this game, you're going to purchase Twilight Crystals, why not get a weapon that increases your stats whether you use it or not, right? Max limit break weapons can also go into your subgrid, and they will technically at least have 5,000 or closing in on 6,000 stats, which is essentially like 600 plus stats, sort of like an Arcana granting like 400 extra physical defense or what have you. So The next thing you're going to want to get is the double Twilight Crystal pack. So essentially when, you know, the $80 pack comes with like 2,000 Twilight Crystals, you can totally get those. It's up to you, whichever one you want to buy. Technically, the last thing to buy is the Nightmare Evolution packs. So if you go into menu, you go into Metal Exchange, Charm Metals into there specifically, there is a cost in order to get the Charm Metal Evo Mat materials for Nightmare specifically. It costs roughly 800 Charm Metals to level up or evolve a Nightmare from SR to L. So go ahead and get the Nightmare Evolution materials because you get Twilight Crystals and you get the Evo Mat. So it's kind of like a win-win, and you want to evolve those paid Nightmares. Essentially, the thing that you want to, you know, pay for with your Charm Metals is the Twilight Crystals. That's number one. And then the next thing is probably these Coliseum gems. These four in particular are the number one. And if you want to excel in, you know, like events, then I guess you could get the story ones. But honestly, these Colo gems are where you need to be because this is going to make a huge difference. So that's essentially it for, you know, bigger dolphins, killer whales. Is you pretty much plan out your royal user service, you get the Nightmare Evo packs, you get the weapon packs when you feel like you can get them, and you go for the double gem packs. Obviously, you know, you gotta appropriate yourself where it's like, is this month worth it to do it or is it not? You know, it's up to your decisions on how you want to do it. And of course, as a whale, you know, you buy gems as you need them. But that's pretty much it for this Spender's guide. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. I'm a whale. I'll see you in the next one.